Could the answer to bringing us closer as a community be as simple as talking to each other?
Well, in this week's In Black and White, Fox 8's Jordan Brown shows us how one man started a group in hopes of rebuilding and reuniting the community.
That's right. What started as a one-time run to bring people together during a tough year turned into a community of people who have grown closer just by listening to each other.
2020 was a very tough year for a lot of people.
It was the year of pandemic, politics, protests, and pain for many Americans.
There was so much yelling going on in 2020. It was incredible.
Tyrone Irby figured the reason many people weren't seeing eye to eye is because they wouldn't talk to each other.
I wanted to do something to bring people together, have conversations, and build or rebuild unity.
So he did.
Together We Stand was kind of an idea to just do something different and have people engage with each other rather than being divisive.
Together We Stand was born in Durham in 2020. Tyrone originally wanted to do something in honor of Ahmaud Arbery, a black man who was murdered in Georgia by two white men in what's been called a racially motivated hate crime.
That specific case actually touched me a lot because I used to be a very avid runner and I would always run alone and didn't think twice about it.
But for us, I think it was also an opportunity to talk through some of the divisiveness.
The first run was a single 2.23-mile run in honor of Arbery. It was followed by a Unity 5K a few months later. The Irbys wanted the run to be as inclusive as possible.
I think running is an opportunity to have people from all races, all genders. Whether you run or not, you can walk a 5K. Getting them out there in a safe space to engage with each other.
The goal was to make more people comfortable addressing but understanding each other's differences.
This isn't about black versus white. It's about people coming together and having a conversation about race in general.
Those two runs set the stage for a bigger movement. Word about Together We Stand spread to cities outside of Durham. The Irbys worked with local businesses in Charlotte, Fayetteville, Greensboro, and more to increase community engagement. They also started making custom T-shirts to get even more people talking.
And every message behind the shirt has a meaning for it. The first shirt I think we did was an MLK quote, "Justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." It's another opportunity to be more engaged with people who don't know you, you don't know them. And if one person in that group says, okay, I saw that shirt at the race, let me go online and research that group. There you go, that's a win.
Within 2 years, the group has evolved into a big blended family, a safe space to share experiences and brainstorm ways to fight injustice.
To be consistently engaging with people about these issues will be what's going to work. So that's going to be the goal.
In Greensboro, Jordan Brown, Fox 8 News. And in next week's In Black and White, we take a deeper look at some of the conversations and friendships that have come out of Together We Stand meetups.